Dear students, I welcome all of you in the another session of transportation engineering. We have discussed numerous topics such as cross-sectional elements of road. Then we have discussed about side distances. We have discussed about stopping side distance. We have discussed about the super elevation. And in the last session, we have discussed about widening and its examples. Now, before going into the for today's topic, I would like to make a small correction that in one of our sessions, in second last session, we have discussed the maximum values of super elevation. So there is a minor correction that I would like to make, that I had told you that if plain terrain is there, plain and rolling terrain is there, then the maximum allowable value of E is 0.07. If mountainous terrain is there, then the maximum allowable value is 0.04. And if urban area is there with frequent intersections, then the maximum allowable value for E is 0.10. So there is a correction in this value that these two values are to be interchanged. Means if mountainous region is there, then the maximum allowable super elevation will be 0.10, and if urban area is with frequent intersection is there, then it will be 0.04. So this is what you have to keep in your mind, that if plain and rolling terrain is there, then it will be 0.07 maximum allowable value of super elevation. If mountainous terrain is there, it will be 0.10, and if urban area with frequent intersections are there, then it is 0.04. So this is the correction that I was about to tell you. So keep this thing in your mind. I apologize for the mistake I had made in the previous session. So let us discuss today's topic. What we are going to discuss in today's topic is we are going to discuss very interesting topics, such as we are going to discuss the gradients. What is road gradient? What is the definition of road gradient? Then what are the designation and understandings of particular road gradient? What are the factors that may affect the gradient? Then various type of gradients, equation, and concepts along with the uses. Where we will also cover the Indian Road Congress criteria which are there for various kind of gradient. So let us start today's topic. Okay, so we are going to discuss the topic of road gradient. First of all, what is road gradient? So this is called as road gradient. Now what does it mean? So the definition is the rise or fall along the length of the road with respect to the horizontal. Means, how can we understand this thing? Let us understand it by this particular figure. Let us take this is the horizontal value n, and say this is the slope. This height is 1. You may observe while traveling on the road that some of the roads are like this, and some of the road are like this. Let me draw this again for you. See if this is horizontal, if this is the slope of road, the road can be either in cutting or it can be either in embankment or filling. So this rise or fall along the length of the road with respect to this horizontal, this thing, this is called as cutting, and this is called as embankment. So this rise or fall along the road surface length of the road with respect to horizontal is called as gradient. It is designated. Now the another topic is designation and understanding. So it is designated by this thing 1 is to n, means vertical is to horizontal. This is how it is designated. Let us understand this thing with an example. Let us take an example. See, if there is 100 meter of road and if 1 meter height of road is there, the road will be like this. So it would be designated like 1 is to 100, means one vertical where 100 is horizontal. This is how it can be understood. Fine. So this is about road gradient. It is the slope of the road. In a layman language, it is the slope of the road. It can either be in the rising direction or in falling direction with respect to the horizontal. Now let us discuss about various factors that may affect the gradient. The shortcut key of factors affecting road gradient is NDAAOT. Okay. Now let us write down the full form. First is the nature of traffic. Second one is the drainage criteria. Third one is the aesthetic view. Or you can also call it as appearance. Appearance. Then another is about access. Then this O stands for obligatory points. And then this T stands for topography. Okay. Now nature of traffic means if we are traveling on the road where major traffic is conducted by pedestrian or bullock carts or various kind of horse carts or various kinds of animals, at such places the gradient should be gentle. It should not be very much steep. Either there will be chances of toppling down of those vehicles. Now drainage criteria. The gradient should be such that it should be easy for the rainwater to drain off. Means the rainwater should be easily drain off from the road surface. It should be like that. Then appearance means the appearance of the gradient should be such that it should provide good looks to the road. Whenever we are looking at the plan or the sectional area, it should provide a good appearance or aesthetic. Then access means access to adjoining property. Means by providing the gradient, it should be analyzed that what kind of properties are allocated adjoining to the particular slope. Then comes the obligatory points. We have already learned the topic of obligatory points. These are the points which govern the direction of road alignment. Where from means from where the road alignment should pass and from where it should not pass. And then comes the topographic criteria. So this is how we can understand various kind of factors, nature of traffic, drainage condition, appearance, access to adjoining property, obligatory points and topography. NDAAOT. NDAAOT. N stands for nature of traffic, drainage, A stands for appearance, A stands for adjoining properties, O stands for obligatory points, and T stands for topography. Understood? Now let us move towards the another next part of this particular what I can say topic. Okay. Now let us discuss about various kind of gradients. So let me tell you that there are total 6 type of gradients. First is about the average gradient. See, average gradient means it is the ratio of total rise or fall to the horizontal distance between 2 points along the alignment of the road. It is as simple as that. The equation for average gradient is the vertical distance between 2 points to the horizontal distance between 2 points. Means the vertical distance divided by horizontal distance, that is called as average gradient. Majorly this average gradient is used for the designing of hilly roads, because on the plain terrain the dimension of vertical distance between 2 points will be quite lesser. So this is the first gradient, that is average gradient. Now the second gradient is the ruling gradient. Ruling gradient is the gradient which is usually adopted while making the road alignment. So this is one of the most important gradient because it is used in the designing of highway. It is the gradient which is used by the road designer while designing the road. So it is also called as design gradient. It is the maximum gradient within which the designer attempts, well, I have already narrated, designer attempts to design the vertical profile of the road. It is also known as design gradient as I have narrated. Now, there are various kind of criteria that we need to understand, such as this ruling gradient is usually adopted where the plain terrain is there, flatter terrain is there. If the terrain is more hilly terrain is there, then ruling gradient would be compromised. There are various depending factors or dependent factors for ruling gradients, such as it depends upon which kind of terrain is there, means which kind of topography or which kind of slope of the particular area is there. Then what is the length of the grade? Then what kind of traffic is there? Then what is the speed of the vehicle? What is the average speed of the vehicle? Then what is the pulling power required by the vehicles in order to get moved from one place to another? So what is the tractive force or pulling power required? So this is about ruling gradient, that it is also called as design gradient. It is used by the designers while making the road alignment. In flatter terrain, they are more usually adopted. The various factors that depend upon ruling gradient are terrain, length of grade, traffic, speed of vehicle, and pulling power required. Now let us move towards the another gradient, that is limiting gradient. Now see, at some places due to topography of the area, the gradient is provided which is much steeper than the ruling gradient due to the demand of topography. So the gradient which is steeper than the ruling gradient, which may be used for the limited road length, because if it is used for the whole road length, then the vehicles would experience higher amount of tractive efforts and the efficiency and mileage of the vehicles would be reduced. So the gradient which is steeper than this particular ruling gradient, which is provided for the limited road length, see limited road length, is called as limiting gradient. As it is steeper than the ruling gradient, it is also called as maximum gradient. See, I have already explained that it is used where the topography of the place compels adapting to the steeper gradient than the ruling gradient. Sometimes providing a higher amount of limiting gradient in the hilly area results in higher cost optimization. See, if this kind of road is there, then for this much of length means limited road length, the steeper gradient then the ruling gradient is provided. So this is about the limiting gradient. Then the another gradient is the exceptional gradient. Exceptional means it is having exception criteria. It should be more than maximum gradient, larger than maximum gradient, or shorter than minimum gradient. Exception means what? It is not provided all the time. Exceptional gradient means either it is of higher value than the maximum value which has been provided, or it is lower than the minimum gradient provided. So the gradient which is steeper than the limiting gradient, which may be used in short length. See, the most steeper gradient is which limiting gradient. If a gradient which is more steeper than the limiting gradient means it is having larger value than the maximum gradient or steeper gradient, then it is called as exceptional gradient. Where the extraordinary situation demands, at those places only the exceptional gradient is provided. Otherwise, they are not provided. This is adopted only in the very difficult situation and for a short length which should not exceed 100 meters stretch. So this is about exceptional gradient. Then comes the minimum gradient. Minimum gradient means the general gradient that we people observe while traveling on the road. We can observe, we can experience a small amount of slope. That is very small amount of slope or gradient. The minimum desirable slope, which is essential for the effective drainage of the rainwater or drain of the rainwater from the road surface, which is provided on the plain terrain, is called as minimum gradient, which should be provided in order to drain out the rainwater. And then comes the floating gradient. Now floating gradient is the one on which the motor vehicle moving with a constant speed continues to descend with the same speed without the application of the power brake. See, whenever we are traveling on the ascending slope, we have to accelerate the vehicle. But whenever we are going through the descending slope, we should not apply our acceleration. It will flow like anything, flow itself, and it would not require any kind of acceleration. So the gradient on which the motor vehicle moving with the constant speed and it does not require any kind of application of brakes or acceleration is called as floating gradient. So this is about the gradient thing. I hope you have gone through concept thoroughly. Thank you.